Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends, and warm welcome back to yet another webinar from ProThoughts. Thanks for turning in huge numbers today. This is my pleasure to talk to you today. Uh, I'm Saurabh. Uh, uh, Pardon me if my network connections go bad. I'm in a little low network connections today. I do have a plan B, so in case it get disconnected, I'll connect with my plan B. I might need to switch off my video. I probably, if I see the connections going off, then I'll probably switch off my video. Um, Today I've got a complete different topic, and you know me, whoever has heard from me, I always strive hard to get you a different topic, a differentiated aspect for you guys, so that you guys enjoy. Um, Today I've got a completely different topic. If you look at my background in the back, right, it's a complete retro background, right? So this reminds me that if you want to look different, if you want to be different, well, of course, there are two different things, no doubt about it. What do you need to do? So the journey from where you are, so and where to where you want to be, can be traversed only by you. Nobody else will traverse along with you. There will a lot of folks, of course, will be with you, no doubt about it. But this journey you have to traverse, my friends. Um, so the theme of the topic today was: Are you really those 2%? So when you say 2%, meaning top 2%, bottom 2%, right? So I have to qualify it as top 2%. So the question you need to ask yourselves, whichever profession you are into, whether you are into the project management, operations management, you are a project manager, a portfolio manager, program manager, PMO lead, whatever you are you from that cream uh, team of top 2%? If you're not, then what you need to do? And if you are, then you might say, is there no improvement area? Of course, we do all of us do have continuous improvement, as the great agility or a business agility of the world keep talks about continuous improvement. So I got this topic today, a different topic. So today I'm not going to keep my length of this webinar for the whole hour. I'll probably talk about 20-25 minutes, and probably I love to have questions on it. But what I got today is kind of a uh, methodology and a survey which had happened globally, and there were quite a number of respondents, almost like 860 respondents to be precise, who responded back to this great survey. So I have this uh, startling stats with me today for you. So let's quickly begin, right? So those who are aware about me, those who probably, of course, you don't need my introduction. Those who are not aware, I industry veteran with almost 2.5 decades of experience in the world of IT industry. Happen to work with a little bit of other domains as well. Work with the telecom and BFSI domain. Uh, Previous past president of the PMI Mumbai chapter as well, and of course associated with many management institutes over the period of time, right? I did about lots of projects as in my career as a project lead, project manager, program manager, portfolio manager, PMO head, and the head of IT department for a company. So that's where I am, guys, in front of you. Good amount of traditional and agility, both the experiences. I am PMP certified and discipline agile certified as well. With me. A quick agenda for the day today. Of course, the introduction of the topic, which I quickly cover for you. Traits of alpha. So when I say alpha, Now this alpha word that you could, you guys always think through, alpha testing, beta testing, and whatnot, right? So this alpha has got a specific, symbolic meaning of it. So I don't want to take much time, but whenever you say alpha, right, this is you internally look at your inside. If you think that you are 2%, top 2%, then you are. Okay, not the world thinks that you are. That's internal. Any which ways your alpha testing in the company is your internal testing, isn't it? Your beta testing done by the customers or the stakeholders or the other groups apart from the project group. Alpha testing done by you. So this testing is yours. So am I going to talk about soft skills today? Actually not. This is a different topic altogether today. So we covered about 4 traits of alpha. Some stats we'll cover and they deep dive as much possible in next 20 minutes into this and summarize it. Okay, so let's see. Are you this? So everybody thinks, yes, you are. Yes, I am. Of course, everybody thinks that I am a high-flying professional with a great career and behind me, and I am a high-rising professional as well. There's nothing wrong in it. 4 things characterizes you and I both. 1, your attitude, of course, and attitude measure altitude. I don't need to tell you a number of times. Focus and prioritization. The great Brian Tracy. And if I have to literally look at the focus and prioritization, I primarily have got another thing. If you could see the book that in front of me, right? Kiss That Frog. All right. Now, Kiss That Frog is one of the favorite books, which really talks about what do you, the classic, primarily the classic paradigm of urgent and important things. And as Brian Tracy always keep mentioning, how do you do your prioritization, where you should focus first? You should know this pretty well. The 4 matrix or the 2x2 matrix of the 4 quadrants, it's pretty much practical in everybody's life. Communication, I don't need to talk about communication. It's part of, it's a bread and butter. It's like a, it's like your mother tongue today. Yeah, communication and approach. So this 4 approach, meaning how approachable are you to the others and how approachable others make you comfortable with. Okay, so this is both the ways it works. So my sincere gratitude for this webinar goes to this book. The cover is in front of you. This is exactly the same cover where I've got picked up the so-called book review kind of session today. Completely different. But I was, I was so fascinated by Andy Grove's great thought process, and hats off to the great gentleman who just wrote this book. Hats off to him. With a great credit to him, I'll just give you a few anecdotes, my representation from those surveys. Okay, let me tell you that. So let's talk about the great survey, first of all. The question here is, what the top 2% know that everyone else doesn't? If you are a part of top 2%, what do you know that others don't? If you are not, then what those 2% knows that you don't? Do that gap analysis tonight itself. Do that before you go to the bed. If you're not done, I'm sure you keep doing your SWOT analysis, but do you do a SWOT analysis for you? And I ask this question to me. Every month I ask this question, if not every week. That's not possible, maybe. Every month I try to do my SWOT. Where do I lack? Do you as a person, as an individual, as a project manager, project professional, program manager, portfolio manager, do you have that in you? Do you have those strengths? Do you understand your weaknesses? Forget opportunities and threats for a while. Do you know how deep shit you are in? Do you know how you yourself believe in yourself? So all these things reflect back on one thing is I need to review myself. We keep doing the review of the projects, we keep doing the audit of the project, we do the red, amber, green, we do the monitoring, we do MS Project Primavera, we do Trello, we do n number of software, of course my favorite Jira, n number of software you do. But do you do this SWOT analysis? Look at the stats, guys, now, and you're going to go crazy about it. So quick methodology here. By the way, if you have any questions, I will not take questions right now. Please put on the question panel on the tool. The chat would be hidden. Chat would be disabled. If you have any question, please feel free and put on the question. Right? If you have any question to ask immediately, just hold on for this next 20 minutes, and we'll come back to you. Okay? Those on the mobile phones may not get an option, but probably try to figure out that option somewhere. Yeah. Okay. So methodology was one, setting your expectation and your stakeholders' expectation as well. Two, communicating efficiently and effectively. I don't need to tell you this. Three, managing issues of yours and others. See, look at the importance is being given. Your expectation, your issues. Do you understand that? The second part, your stakeholder expectation, we keep doing it any which ways, isn't it? As a real good PMs, the P can be project, program, portfolio, anything. We keep doing it. It's a part of our life. No choice. Do you? Managing issues of yours, your issues. That's absolutely crucial, friends. This is crucial. Do once in a week if possible. Look at that. Look inside. And the fourth, identifying and managing risks. Risks from the perspective of external and internal. Forget the project risk of risk to yourselves. Okay. So these are the methodology. I'm going to skip this slide for a while. 8 dimensions were covered in this. 1. Look at this, because these are very important dimensions. We probably, in interest of time, we might be able to cover 1 or 2 dimensions today in depth, in a deep dive, but there are over 8 dimensions which book suggest. Attitude and belief, communication, alignment with yourself, and then alignment with the strategy of the organization, alignment of the project outcomes to be outcomes with the project objectives, which comes from the entire organization's portfolio, programs, projects. It comes from the vision, mission, goals, objective, and strategies, right? That kind of so alignment starts here inside you and then go outside to the organization. Approach and organization, focus and prioritization, as I just mentioned, issue management, relationship and conflict. I don't need to explain you this. And the last is the leadership. 8 dimensions covered here. Let's take, I don't think I will be able to even do 3 of them. Probably let's see how much we can quickly cover without getting into too much of a details. But yeah, let's at least have a one deep dive into attitude and belief. All right. Attitude. I am responsible. I own this. I'll give you a classic example. Just a few days back, I was working on a project consulting for some organization, and somebody sized some challenges. It was like the RACI metrics, roles and responsibility for few items weren't defined, and nobody was ready to own the responsibility. And to my surprise, all of a sudden, a young chap of 25 years, 26 years guy came forward, and there was a very senior management meeting going on. It's all through, thanks to COVID, we are all online. He came forward and he said, I will own this without a fear. He said, I'll own this. I got sacked. I actually I was trying to understand who could be the risk owner here. And there was almost like 7 to 8 minutes gone into that discussion. In the senior management, who I generally do coach, nobody wanted to own it up. 25 years gentleman came forward. I'm not supposed to give you the name of the company. I'm sorry, guys, but I heads off to that guy. I learned. Now, the statement here say, I have responsibility, but no authority. And this guy say, I will own it up, which means he assumed that in the team of 10 senior managers, he has been already given authority to own up. He didn't have to say that. This is a wonderful point. When I was reading this, I liked this so much, right? So I say, this is the attitude. Nobody is given the authority. Just take it. You just take it. Just go and do it. So, couple of things, guys. Now, when I talk about alpha, the startling stats which I'm going to throw in front of you. 18 out of 860 respondents responded back to these 8 characteristics which I told you. First was the attitude and belief. Okay, now let's see what happens. The difference between alpha PMs, those top 2%, and non-alpha PMs, those rose raised 98%. See what happens for each characteristics. We'll go in details. Okay, I love my job. Is it a choice or it happens automatically? You think through it. Do you have a choice? If you do, yep, you have a good choice. Choice is always good. But if you don't, then you think, is it imposed on me? So alpha average, 67% said, I love my job. Attitude. You might say, Saurabh, we don't love our job. Well, your problem. Then are you in the right profession? Are you in the right job? Or do you need to change your job? Before that, before even getting into that extreme, think A, B, C, D, multiple parameters, which of course I'm not going to get into it. Are you within the right environment? Do you have a right tools? Do you, before that, look inside, are you capable? Do you have artificial intelligence, machine language skills to create that kind of a nice robot? Do you know Python, for that matter, to create this particular script, etc., in a technology world? Look inside. I love this second statement. How many of us look forward to Monday on Sunday afternoon? Positively look at it. That I'm going to make it this time. Try this Sunday. Try this Sunday. I know it's very crazy. I know that. Sunday afternoon with family, and all of attention starts from, oh, what's going to happen next week? It's going to be crazy. December coming to an end. December Christmas week. There's a quarter end, and I've got too much of a pressure to deliver. Too many customers chasing you for the deliverables, and there are some of the risks already hanging around you. I'm going to have a great Monday. I'm going to have a great week next week. I'm going to make it. I'm going to splash it. Try changing your self-confidence. Just try to do that. So, job-related trainings. How many hours do you think of a training you would put? Probably you might want to assume the numbers in last 3 years. So when an average were discussed, alpha average put 45 hours over 3 years. 45 hours overall. 1 hour, etc. The non-alpha were not too behind, but 38 hours. Still that. Does it mean 2% of them, it's almost the similar kind of numbers, picked up something differently than the remaining 98%? If they got through the training, think through it. This is the kind of survey, right? These are some of the statistics. So whenever I talk about this, so look at this statement. The first one, it says, I have an adequate authority to manage the projects for which I'm responsible. And those alpha, which 18 alphas and 842 out of 860, out of 18, 89% says, yes, I do. Or those who said 89% of this 18 guys are quite positive. Now what happens is the remaining out of 842, only not even half of them say we have an adequate authority. So two questions. Are you waiting for authority to be given, or you assume that you already have authority and own it up and then prove it that you had authority? Choice is yours. As I said, choice is yours. Choice is always good. Second, the project manager has necessary organization authority to manage projects successfully. Now, who's rating this? Managers of those project managers. This is done by project manager. This survey, I mean this rating. See this. Who was surveyed? Project manager. Who was surveyed in this question? Senior management. Senior management perspective said this project manager has, they assume, they believe, see the attitude and beliefs. They believe the project manager has a necessary organization authority to manage projects successfully. The numbers are absolutely same. 1% difference, that's it. If the numbers are same, then guys, my question is, where is the difference? Where is the difference from 2% and 98%? What do those 2% guys differently do on the same statement? Both the statements are same for both those kind of guys. And this really took me aback when I looked at it. The reading is same. The managers feel it's given authority. Now, if you do not assume that you have authority, your problem. Or you just revert back to management saying that you never gave us authority. Give us authority. If you want to just take it away, do that. Next one. What is the importance of your role that you feel? I'll repeat. What's the importance of your role that you feel? Your perception. Do you feel important in your role? Do you really feel important of your about your role? Forget about others. The alpha average 96, almost touching 100, and non-alpha 70%. This is the difference. Self-confidence, self-esteem, that's attitude. You believe. What's the importance of your role on your current project? Senior management position perception. This is your perception. This is senior management perception. It's not different between what you assume or what you have from what senior management is for you. It's almost the same. But look at this one. The difference here and the difference here is almost the same, 25%. This is the issue. This is the challenge. That means you have a low self-esteem. You have your low self-belief. Can't help it. You need to improve on that. You look some starking contrast in my words, right? Yes, and I'm not here to tell you all good things here on this webinar. I'm a little different out of here. If you don't understand this, you will never be able to be that top 2%. And then you might say, oh, continuous improvement is always part of life. Yes, it's always part of the life. But then we reach at least 98%. Oh, sorry, we reach at least to the top 2%. Until you do that, you only yourself can help. Second point. So we are able to complete one perimeter, guys. I probably still take 5 more minutes of yours. And we'll have a lovely question and answer for us. We'll take one more, communication. This is close to my heart. So I immediately put, after attitude and belief, I put communication out of those 8. Let's quickly talk about it. Alpha project managers do not assume. Do you? A classic example, I'll give you a classic. Let me give you a small example. I was working with JP Morgan a few years back. This is a real life story, okay? There was a project in JP Morgan Chase, which I was handling. It's a transition project. And we were transitioning some of the applications from European Union to India. And we were having a lot of good amount of application servers. And the number of list of applications, if I'm not wrong, almost like 46, 47 applications to be migrated. It's a big project. And I don't need to tell you how do you identify stakeholders, how you engage there, how do you plan their engagement, how do you manage their engagement, etc. Right? So I was like, I did have a kind of stakeholder register, not in a very formal, authoritative, or standard format, but I did have some Excel sheet, etc. One fine day, all of a sudden, somebody called me and he said, "Look, Saurabh, I'm extremely unhappy about the way the project is going. The project was green, fortunately. What happened?" I said, "I don't think things are moving for my team." I said, "Which part of your team?" Because I didn't know him. "Which part of your team you are in?" "I'm a part of the finance tech team within this." And sure. So I didn't want I didn't want to get into much of a conflict, but I assumed that he must be at a low level and mid level. But then I really, because top level I all knew. I said, "He would be new recruit." I assumed few things and I had a kind of argument over a couple of calls with him without even understanding or analyzing that stakeholder, guys. My communication was pretty pathetic. I realized later on he was a new head for finance tech who just came on board at a second rank from top. Irrespective of that, as a human being, I felt that. I assumed that. I've taken few things for granted. There was no pity on myself, but I couldn't help. I basically screwed up. Honestly, I screwed up. But that was a great learning for me. Now, what happens is, after a few weeks of this incident, there was an appraisal time. And I'm being honest, guys, with you. This is a real life story of mine. And there was an apple to apple comparison between me and my colleague. And there was only one position which could be promoted. Results. Think. Do I need to tell you the results? So there was a bad impact. I assume. Yes, I didn't get promoted. My colleague appeared apple to apple, same rating. I took few things for granted. I literally had to improve on my way I behave. Anyway, so alpha project managers do not. So look at this, guys. Alpha and non-alpha, both things, my communication is great. This is what even I assumed. While talking to that new stakeholder head of fintech, I assumed that. So my communication is good. After those, within the 2 weeks, what happened? He approached my boss and he said, "What kind of I don't want to use the word here. What kind of a person you have in your team? He doesn't know how to communicate. He doesn't know how to talk to people." Ah, awesome. Non-alpha, look at this, guys. How do your senior management, customers, and team members feel? This is ridiculous. This is exactly goes absolutely as per my story, life story, a real life story. I was part of that 50%, complete non-alpha. The most of the customers, senior management, team members, for the 2% alphas should be absolutely greater than 75% plus. But then those 2% only. Okay. So again, there is a 80-20 classic. How do they do this? And I don't need to probably again tell you. One, they talk to their stakeholders very early. I realized my mistake. I should have identified the stakeholder earlier in the game. I should be aware. I should communicate enough, frequently. Effective and efficient communication. I keep my communication channel open and precise and concise communications. Key strategies for the communication. One, understand, be predictable, clarify, focus, and be relevant. The most important thing, the fear, remove that. Remove the fear. I was quite intrusive. I was quite inward. And I was quite introvert. All the three. Try to improve and probably still improve. So guys, I think I'm not willing to go any more further. There are huge, so I gave you some statistics today, okay, of alphas versus non-alphas, and there are huge amount of content which is available, and I don't want to bore. My whole objective was to get you to this study. If you can get a copy of this, please do. It's a beautiful read. It's not a boring research. No, it's unlike the other research that you might find. It's not a typical research done by PhDs. No, it's different. It's a little different here. In fact, vastly different. You'll enjoy this. So there are a few, if you want to quickly look at it, there are a few slides on how the other scenarios goes actually. Right? The PMO starts with the PMO, how the PMO should be, correct? And things like that. So primarily, let me summarize quickly. The top performers do their own reviews. I'm sure you have got a 360-degree, right? Those who have not heard probably can put up a question on the question panel, and I'll help you what a 360-degree review all about. They do a 360-degree. If they don't have a policy from human resource team perspective in their organization, they would ask their respective colleagues to give them a +3, -3, which means the +3 meaning positive areas, -3 meaning improvement areas. Typically your strengths and weaknesses absolutely looked by first by yourself and then by others. The second point says top performers harness and direct the motivation. Self-interest scores low, team interest and the values of the organization scores high, right? Which includes honor, virtue, justice, fairness, equality, trust, integrity. Top performers keep teams aligned to the project practice. And many of these are being taken here and then focus prioritization. And there are a lot of things which I got in my slide today. So just to show you that I got this quick study from my own effort. And maybe you can just look at those things. Great. Right now, before I come to question answer session, quickly, ProThoughts, we are a learning solutions 6 years old startup. Fortunately, we are learning solution company. We do multiple trainings. We are now we are a premier ATP authorized training provider of PMI globally. We have a presence in 4 countries and 6 locations in India, of course. So we not only just do the trainings, online, offline, PMP trainings, ACP training. Apart from certification, we also do the uh, MS project training. We do the risk management training as well. We have some small, e-commerce courses also. So there are a huge amount of things which we try to do. And we have got 3 different websites. One, prothoughts.co.in, second, prothoughts.solutions.com, which is our e-commerce platform. And the third, completely different, where you find all this that you see here in my next slide, talkprojectmanagement.com, where you will find lots of blogs, surveys written by the people like experts like you, who would come and contribute. Is absolutely free of cost. You just put your registration on that and get access to everything free of cost. Look at a webinar calendars on these sites, right? And many things like that on this slide. So that's quick thing about us, right? So let me go to a quick question panel. Back to questions. Well, how do you reach us? So there is a quick. By the way, we also have our LinkedIn group. By the way, those who are interested, we are taking first time live. We are going first time live for 3-day series on LinkedIn, and we are talking about something about discipline agile. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of discipline agile, but those who are aware aren't aware, nothing to worry about it, right? So if you look at the discipline agile in the search, in the Google search, you find any number of things from PMI. And this is my 3rd day, which I'm hosting. I've got 2 experts, SMEs today, I'm going to do panel discussion immediately in next 15 minutes. Next 15 minutes, which is 9 p.m. IST sharp. Link to it, very simple. In a Google, just say ProThoughts LinkedIn. ProThoughts LinkedIn page. Go to our page, we'll be live over there. First time we are doing a live on a LinkedIn. LinkedIn has started these live sessions today, nowadays, sorry. Just started off. So we're going to go live on that. Those who are interested, please stay back. Maybe take 5-10 minutes break. We'll just wrap up quickly here, and then you can come down there. Okay, it'll be half an hour. We try not to put more than max 40 minutes, and it's going to be live chat with you guys. You can pose your live questions, but this is going to be discipline agile. Okay, so there is a certification roadmap. So we do these certifications, part of ProThoughts. As I said, we have a LinkedIn group. This is the next batch which is coming up from ProThoughts on the Discipline Agile Scrum Master certification on the Agile, those who are interested in Agile. This is another website I already told you about, ProThoughts, the solutions. And of course, you can follow us on many other social presence. You write to us at info@prothoughts.co.in, and we will ensure that we get a response within 24 hours. Okay, sounds good? Thank you so much, guys. I love the session. I'm not sure about you, but hoping that you also would have got return on investment on your time for this 1 hour approximately. So till the next time, have a great day ahead and have a great evening ahead, guys. All the best. Become alphas and remain there. Bye.